We will now move on to item 5, summary records of the 14th session of the committee. Mr. Secretary, the floor is yours to present this item.
Thank you, Madame Chairperson. Merci, Madame la Présidente. Je vais passer un peu en français pour ce point. Ce document présente le compte-rendu de la 14e session du comité, conformément à l'article 45 du règlement intérieur du comité. Il permet ainsi de garder une trace des débats et discussions que nous avons eus à Bogota l'an dernier, qui pourraient être utiles au cours de cette session. Vous pouvez également retrouver les enregistrements de tous ces débats sur la page web de la 14e session du comité. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I will now open the floor. Does anybody wish to take the floor? I see none. Let us move now to the decision. Please refer to document 5. I understand China wants to take the floor. Please go ahead. I understand Aber Jizan wants to take the floor. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I'd like to ask countries, if you are going to be making general statements, if we could do so after the adoption of the decisions.
Madame la Présidente, vous m'entendez?
I can hear you.
D'accord, merci Madame la Présidente. Prenant la parole pour la première fois, l'Azerbaïdjan souhaite féliciter le secrétariat de la Convention de 2003 pour avoir aidé le comité intergouvernemental à tenir sa 15e session entièrement en ligne. L'Azerbaïdjan se réjouit de participer à cette importante réunion et nous sommes heureux de constater que des efforts ont été faits pour organiser cette session sans heurts. L'Azerbaïdjan apprécie grandement les efforts du secrétariat pour faire avancer la mise en œuvre de la Convention ainsi que les décisions de l'Assemblée générale et du comité malgré la pandémie de COVID-19. Nous nous félicitons des mesures prises par le secrétariat pour soutenir le fonctionnement des mécanismes de base du comité. Même si l'ordre du jour de notre session actuelle en ligne est limité, nous pensons qu'il sera important que le comité poursuive ses travaux sur un certain nombre d'aspects importants, tels que le rôle des organisations non gouvernementales, les mécanismes d'inscription sur la liste, ainsi que les patrimoines culturels immatériels et les situations d'urgence.
Dear member, can you please make your general statement after the decision has been adopted? Please. Thank you.
OK, merci.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us now move to the decision. Please refer to document 5 and its draft decision in paragraph 7. And it's on the screen. May I ask the committee to adopt draft decision 15.com5 as shown on the screens? I see no objections. I therefore declare decision 15.com5 adopted as seen on the screens. Thank you, dear members of the committee. I understand that the Secretariat wishes to update us on the activities that they undertook since the 18th session of the General Assembly in September this year. Mr. Curtis, the floor is back to you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Since there is no report of the Secretariat, I will be extremely brief just to give an update on the work we've done since our last report in September to the General Assembly. In addition to a number of statutory actions that were taken to support various international cooperation mechanisms and quite an amount of time dedicated to preparing this present session, we were able to also organize the 8th annual coordination meeting of the Category 2 centers in the field of intangible cultural heritage, which took place online on the 30th of November. We held a series of intersectoral online expert meetings on educated-related indicators in the overall results framework for the convention and their relationship with SDG 4. And there will be a public online restitution meeting in January 2021 to share the results of these meetings. And we've also been working a lot, among other things, but just to flag it, on the development of a massive open online course on living heritage and sustainable development, which we expect to launch next year. I, as always, stand ready to answer questions if any committee members so wish. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis, for giving us the update on the Secretariat's recent activities. We all appreciate the Secretariat's efforts to keep the convention going in this difficult time. As I announced earlier today, I would like to provide opportunities to those states, whether members of the committee or not, as well as other observers wishing to deliver general statements. At this time, Azerbaijan, I will invite you to speak.
Merci. Merci, Madame la Présidente. Donc, je reprends. Même si l'ordre du jour de notre session actuelle en ligne est limité, nous pensons qu'il sera important que le comité poursuive ses travaux sur un certain nombre d'aspects importants, tels que le rôle des organisations non gouvernementales, les mécanismes d'inscription sur les listes, ainsi que le patrimoine culturel immatériel et les situations d'urgence, y compris le patrimoine culturel immatériel dans les situations de conflits armés qui sont davantage au centre de l'attention de la communauté internationale. Le comité s'approchera bientôt au moment où il discutera pour la première fois des résultats de l'exercice de rapports périodiques dans la région de l'Amérique latine et des Caraïbes, et l'Azerbaïdjan suivra de près ce travail. Notre délégation réitère l'importance de maintenir la cohérence des décisions passées et actuelles du comité, et le défi devient encore plus grand à mesure que le comité poursuit ses travaux et que la portée de ces discussions continue de s'élargir. Enfin, notre délégation voudrait exprimer sa préoccupation concernant la situation des dossiers et des priorités appliquées au prochain cycle d'examen des candidatures, et nous pensons qu'un débat ad hoc pourrait éventuellement être organisé pour réfléchir à la situation et proposer des moyens d'avancer au comité lors de sa prochaine session. Je vous remercie de votre attention.
Thank you so much. I understand that Brazil wishes to take the floor. I will now invite Brazil to take the floor.
Gracias, señora presidenta. Excelentísima señora ministra Olivia Grange, excelentísima señora Audrey Azoulay, excelentísimos señores Ernesto Tone y Tim Curtis. Nos enorgullece enormemente volver a integrar el Comité Intergubernamental para la Salvaguardia del Patrimonio Cultural e Inmaterial. Quisiera felicitar y saludar a los nuevos miembros y agradecer a todos por el apoyo recibido. Quisiera también felicitar una vez más a Colombia por el magnífico trabajo en la última sesión de este comité. La reunión de Bogotá, la primera en Latinoamérica, quedará para todos nosotros como una referencia en la historia de esta convención. Celebramos este año 17 años de nuestra convención, la que, pese a su juventud relativa, es de una actualidad y relevancia crecientes. La relación de Brasil con esta convención empieza con los primeros debates y negociaciones que culminaron con su adopción. Trabajaremos juntos en el comité para ampliar e intensificar su implementación de modo a proteger y valorizar el invaluable patrimonio inmaterial de nuestros pueblos. Las razones de nuestro compromiso tienen raíces en nuestra propia formación histórica. La gran diversidad y riqueza de la cultura inmaterial brasileña no está estancada en el tiempo. El patrimonio es vivo y es también lo que confiere unidad e identidad a una sociedad en la cual conviven diferentes orígenes étnicos. Somos una nación que se compromete y se compone de centenas de grupos autóctones distintos, una patria enriquecida por las costumbres y religiosidades africanas, una herencia que está muy marcada en nuestra habla, nuestra comida, nuestras danzas, nuestras costumbres, y para la que contribuyó decisivamente el enorme influjo de inmigrantes que acogimos, que lograron en Brasil mezclarse y conformar lo que somos, una patria multilateral, un pueblo múltiple, pero que posee una cultura nacional distinta y única, cuyas manifestaciones son reconocidas en todo el mundo. Lo inmaterial nos permite, como brasileños, desarrollar un sentimiento de unidad y pertenencia. Y es ese patrimonio que necesita nuestra protección y apoyo. Brasil está comprometido con esta misión desde hace décadas. A través de su Instituto Nacional del Patrimonio, IFAN, este año celebramos los 20 años de nuestro Programa Nacional para la Salvaguardia del Patrimonio y Diversidad Inmaterial. Este marco precede, por lo tanto, la propia Convención de 2003. Gracias a la actuación del IFAN, además seguimos expandiendo nuestra colaboración técnica con nuestros vecinos latinoamericanos y con diferentes instituciones, sobre todo el CRESPIAL, Centro Regional para el Patrimonio Cultural Inmaterial de América Latina. Señora Presidenta, no son tiempos fáciles para la cultura. La primera víctima de la pandemia que vivimos. Millones de artistas y artesanos y agentes culturales han perdido su trabajo a causa de la pandemia. Es el trabajo de nuestro comité apoyarlos, fomentando la resiliencia de las manifestaciones culturales y de las comunidades y prácticas que son repositorio del patrimonio inmaterial. Más que nunca se hace necesario el apoyo de las instituciones a las comunidades y a las tradiciones culturales. La Convención de 2003 tiene un vínculo directo con las comunidades y hay que estrecharlo, volverlo en un nuevo punto de partida, un renacimiento. Por eso aquí estamos para que podamos trabajar juntos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Brazil. We have a few requests for the floor. Therefore, I will ask the Secretariat to read out the names of those who wish to make presentations. Tim?
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. So the speakers list, starting with committee members, we have China, Panama, Czechia, Japan, Sri Lanka, Poland, Morocco, and then as observer states, Colombia, Syria, and Palestine. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you, Tim. I will now ask China to take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since it is the first time for China to take the floor, my delegation would like to congratulate on your chairmanship. We would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Jamaica for its hospitality as the host for this session. To all the committee members and the Secretariat for all your great efforts to make the 15th session of the committee online possible. As we can recall, we had precious memories at last session in Colombia, guided by the principles and objectives of the 2003 Convention. The committee had achieved fruitful results, such as the reform on the periodic reporting system, the upstream dialogue process, the reflections on the listing mechanism, and etc. Since early this year, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed our way of life profoundly. People's life and health are put under great threat. And so are the diversity and transmission of the intangible cultural heritage of humanities. We have to meet online for this session, and the agenda was reduced accordingly. Even so, Madam Chair, we believe that under your leadership, we, the committee members, will continue to make new contributions to the promotion and implementation of the Convention. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, China. I will now ask Panama to take the floor.
Señora Presidenta, en nombre de la Delegación de la República de Panamá, deseamos expresarle nuestros mejores deseos en el ejercicio de los trabajos de nuestro comité. Reciba usted igualmente el saludo de Su Excelencia, el señor Ministro de Cultura, don Carlos Aguilar Navarro, quien también se complace de ver a una representante de nuestra región conduciendo tan importantes deliberaciones. Este saludo lo hacemos extensivo a la directora general, señora Audrey Aslay, al subdirector general Ernesto Otone y al señor Tim Curtis, secretario de nuestra convención. Señora Presidenta, para mi país, Panamá, con la creación del Ministerio de Cultura en el año 2019 y la Ley General de Cultura en noviembre de 2020, hemos colocado el enfoque principal de la gestión en el ejercicio de los derechos culturales, que son parte de los derechos humanos universales. Al fortalecer y profundizar en el reconocimiento de la diversidad cultural con miras al desarrollo sostenible de los pueblos y las sociedades, Durante los últimos años hemos avanzado en la implementación de nuestra convención, dando un enfoque especial a la planificación desde la protección y salvaguardia del patrimonio cultural inmaterial de manera participativa e incluyente. Para el grupo de países de América Latina y el Caribe ante las Naciones Unidas, esta es una tarea vital e impostergable. La importancia de la protección y salvaguardia del patrimonio cultural inmaterial es crucial para la región ante la necesidad de gestionar las nuevas realidades provocadas por el impacto mundial de la pandemia de la COVID-19 en las formas de vivir y ejercer la cultura. Panamá renueva su compromiso como signataria de la Convención de 2003 para la salvaguardia de nuestro patrimonio cultural e inmaterial, trabajando en equipo con todos ustedes. Gracias, señora presidenta.
Thank you so much. I now give the floor to Japan.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Can you hear me? Oh. Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you hear me? Madam Chair, Madam Director General, Mr. DG for Culture, committee members and observers, my colleagues. Japan commends Madam Chair and the Secretariat for making it possible for the Intergovernmental Committee of the 2003 Convention to take place successfully online in this difficult period affected by the coronavirus, especially taking into account the time constraints of the committee and also the time differences among different regions. I understand that Jamaica is still early in the morning, and thank you very much for organizing this meeting. We thank the evaluation body for evaluating and examining the submitted files professionally in spite of the many restrictions on the review process, which had to be conducted mostly online. We also appreciate the formal introduction of the upstream dialogue process for the evaluation of files, which resulted in many cases being turned into favorable recommendations. Japan will continue to support and to be actively involved in the global reflection on the listing mechanism of the convention. This process is expected to take place next year and to discuss important issues such as the review of the evaluation criteria, the upper limit on the number of cases to be evaluated, the use of external information, and the transfer and removal of cases from the list. Finally, let me emphasize once again that intangible cultural heritage is so much dear to the hearts of our people, for the Japanese people. And in that context, we're very much looking forward to having very fruitful discussions in this committee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Japan. We were hearing you loud and clear. Thank you so much. I will now ask Czechia to take the floor.
Madame la Présidente, bonjour à tous. Nous sommes très heureux de faire de nouveau partie du Comité pour la sauvegarde du PCI. Nous sommes ravis et voudrions remercier pour le soutien des États parties lors de l'élection en septembre dernier et espérons travailler bien en coopérant avec tous nos collègues pour notre convention et sa mise en œuvre. Nous aurions bien aimé retrouver notre assemblée en Jamaïque, mais nous sommes très heureux d'y assister, au moins virtuellement, sous la présidence de Madame la ministre Olivia Grange. Nous nous engageons à suivre vos instructions, Madame, et les recommandations du secrétariat pour le bon déroulement de nos sessions de travail. Et nous sommes sûrs que nos débats seront fructueux et que tout se passera bien comme sur un air de reggae. Merci, Madame la Présidente. Bonne session à tous.
Thank you. Thank you. Sri Lanka, please take the floor. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sri Lanka wishes to thank the Secretariat for the efforts taken to organize this online ICH Intergovernmental Committee session, despite all the challenges we all had to face due to the pandemic. Living heritage around the world has been affected to a great extent by COVID-19 during the past year. Living heritage is built on human relations and interactions, and thus we have to devise mechanisms to preserve living heritage even where human interactions are minimal. There's obviously a very intricate relationship between living heritage and the social and psychological well-being of any community. If we are to build peace in the minds of men and women, which is the ultimate objective of UNESCO, we must mend and develop the social fabric while experiencing the threat of COVID-19 and also by countering the post-crisis recovery period, which will obviously and hopefully lead to a more inclusive and peaceful society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sri Lanka. Poland, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam. Do you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chairperson, once again. Poland wishes to congratulate you, Madam Chairperson, for your warm and full of reggae music opening. We also commend the Secretariat for their dedicated work for organizing this online session during this difficult time of COVID-19 pandemic. We share the opinion that in today's world, it is crucial to take all the necessary measures to prevent cultural heritage from threats to the transmission and viability of tangible cultural heritage, which are the core element of people's cultural identity and well-being of communities, groups, and individuals. The time for ICH is the time that ICH is facing now as a threat that was not defined before, is the one that is not defined before, and where there is a need and tools to safeguard and to protect both the bearers and the elements itself. We are satisfied that during the last GA session, the operational principles and modalities for safeguarding intangible cultural heritage in emergencies were effectively established. We are especially appreciated the new solutions in promoting the convention provisions, like the Dive into Intangible Cultural Heritage initiative and the initiative regarding the recent events, life heritage and the COVID-19 pandemic. Moreover, we are satisfied to acknowledge that the increasing numbers of states are implementing the convention. At the same time, Poland wishes to congratulate all the new committee members, and we would like to wish us all a constructive meeting. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Poland. I now give the floor to Morocco.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Director General, Excellencies, dear friends. I hope that you are hearing me well. I would like, first of all, on behalf of, thank you, Madam. On behalf of Morocco, I would like to congratulate Jamaica and especially you, Madam Chair, for your chairmanship and for the way you are conducting our works. And I wish you all the very best. I would like also to extend my warmest thanks to the Secretariat for the great job they've been doing to allow us to meet today. And my warmest thanks also to Madam Director General for the great job she's been doing for months now to allow us to meet and to work quite normally given to the pandemic. Madame la Présidente, Mesdames, Messieurs, nous tenons tout d'abord à remercier le secrétariat d'avoir préparé et organisé cette 15e session du Comité pour la sauvegarde du patrimoine culturel immatériel. Dans ces conditions difficiles, marquées par la pandémie du Covid, nous aurions évidemment préféré une réunion en présentiel, mais nous comprenons tout à fait ce choix logique au regard des circonstances. Nous nous réjouissons à cet égard de constater que l'UNESCO a su répondre de manière forte aux défis dressés par cette pandémie. En effet, comme l'a dit Madame la Directrice Générale, beaucoup d'événements liés au patrimoine culturel et immatériel ont dû être annulés ou reportés, mais notre organisation s'est efforcée d'être présente là où il le faut en vue d'accompagner les communautés locales de par le monde pour que soient sauvegardés et entretenu les différentes expressions de ce patrimoine. Le Maroc, pays riche de ses traditions sociales, de ses créations, de son artisanat traditionnel et de ses expressions orales héritées de son passé millénaire, consacre beaucoup d'énergie et de moyens pour protéger et sauvegarder ce patrimoine très diversifié. Il s'engage totalement dans le respect des valeurs de la Convention de 2003 et la mise en œuvre de ses objectifs visant la sauvegarde du patrimoine culturel immatériel. Cette session du comité revêt à nos yeux un caractère extrêmement important car elle nous permettra d'examiner nombre de points essentiels tels que le rapport de l'organe d'évaluation pour 2020, l'examen d'un nombre important de candidatures pour inscription sur les listes du patrimoine culturel immatériel, les demandes d'assistance internationale, l'établissement de l'organe d'évaluation pour le cycle 2021. Nous pensons que la réflexion sur les questions relatives à la gestion et aux procédures d'inscription sur les listes de la Convention de 2003, les dispositions des directives opérationnelles doivent se poursuivre en vue d'arriver à une solution optimale et un meilleur équilibre géographique à ce sujet. Nous donnerons le moment venu, évidemment, notre point de vue sur ces questions importantes. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will now ask Colombia to take the floor.
Un saludo muy especial desde Colombia. Agradecemos a Jamaica que haya hecho posible el comité. Un saludo especial a la ministra Olivia Grange y gracias por el reggae que ha comenzado las sesiones de este comité. Queremos resaltar especialmente, Presidenta, la adopción del marco global de resultados para la Convención de 2003, que hoy es una carta de navegación clara para todos los estados parte. Colombia participó en el primer ciclo de preparación de informes periódicos con base a los indicadores de dicho marco y somos testigos del decisivo aporte de este instrumento para mejorar la eficacia de la planeación para una salvaguardia efectiva y para contribuir a visibilizar todo el aporte del patrimonio inmaterial a la Agenda 2030. No podemos dejar de reiterar nuestros más sinceros agradecimientos a la entidad de patrimonio vivo de la UNESCO y al CRESPIAL y a la red de facilitadores por su habilidad para adaptar el proceso de capacitación en el mecanismo de informe periódico de la Convención dirigido a los países de América Latina y el Caribe. Por otro lado, Presidenta, queremos resaltar la importancia que se le ha dado a redoblar los esfuerzos para que la educación de calidad, como un derecho humano, incluya la salvaguardia del patrimonio vivo como vehículo, pero también como una meta a nivel global. Instamos a este comité a promover el apoyo de todos los estados parte para contribuir a este loable fin. Y por eso, Presidenta, damos gracias a la República de Corea por su iniciativa y ayuda para iniciar el proceso de reflexión para construir herramientas más pertinentes para promover la salvaguardia del patrimonio cultural inmaterial a través de la educación. Finalmente, Presidenta, le deseamos muchos éxitos en este comité y agradecemos igual todas las muestras de reconocimiento al comité que se realizó en Bogotá en diciembre pasado. Muchas gracias, Presidenta.
Thank you. Thank you, Colombia. I will now ask Syria to take the floor.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Au nom de mon pays, la République arabe syrienne, l'État partie à la Convention de 2003 depuis 2005, je félicite Son Excellence Madame Olivia Grange, vous-même, Madame la Ministre de la Culture de la Jamaïque, pour votre présidence du comité, ainsi que les membres du bureau. Je salue spécialement les performances du secrétariat de notre Convention 2003 et son secrétaire, ainsi que les efforts fournis par Monsieur le Directeur général adjoint de la Culture, et je salue spécifiquement l'allocution de Madame la Directrice générale pour l'ouverture de nos travaux. La tenue méticuleuse de nos travaux de cette 15e session en mode virtuel représente un effort considérable qui est jalonné par l'engagement des membres du comité qui ont assuré, et j'en suis certaine, la bonne gouvernance de nos travaux depuis ce matin. La République arabe syrienne est consciente de l'impact grandissant des défis auxquels fait face notre humanité. C'est un pays millénaire qui fait face depuis plus de 9 ans à une crise d'urgence peu égalée depuis l'avènement du XXIe siècle. La Syrie subit des sanctions illégales unilatérales et des répercussions très importantes de la pandémie de Covid-19. Malgré cela, le peuple syrien et l'État mettent tout en œuvre avec détermination, courage et résilience pour sauvegarder le patrimoine culturel et matériel de la Syrie, en renforçant la dimension universelle et le dynamisme de son patrimoine vivant à travers des liens trans et intergénérationnels, durables, authentiques, pour une identité culturelle syrienne, arabe, diverse et unie à la fois. Madame la Présidente, je souhaite le succès à nos travaux, Excellences les membres du comité, le grand public. J'appelle notre honorable comité à faire preuve de solidarité fraternelle à la hauteur du message universel que nous apportait l'universalité du reggae. Merci.
Thank you, Syria. I will now invite Côte d'Ivoire to take the floor. Côte d'Ivoire.
Merci, Madame la Présidente. Permettez-moi tout d'abord de féliciter la Jamaïque pour cette belle ouverture que vous nous avez proposée. Je félicite également l'UNESCO pour avoir organisé cette importante conférence malgré des circonstances très difficiles. Madame la Présidente, je voulais simplement dire que la Côte d'Ivoire n'a pas demandé la parole. J'étais en train d'essayer les différents outils et cette occasion m'est donnée de vous féliciter, de vous remercier. Merci, Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, Côte d'Ivoire. I will now invite Palestine to take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, before thanking you and wishing you good luck for your session, I would like to express our thanks to our previous president also in Colombia. It was a fantastic session. Unfortunately, we were looking forward to come to Jamaica, but the situation didn't allow. In any case, let me welcome the new members and wish them as well good luck. There is only one technical issue, and it is addressed to the Secretariat, Madam Chair, with your permission. Could we have the name of the rapporteur? Because in the decision it was mentioned only the country, while the rapporteur is elected on his personal capacity. I think it's Madame Eunice, but it would be good just to make it more clear. Regarding the reports, I thank the Secretariat for the summary record, and unfortunately we were not able to listen to their report. But during this period, I can witness that they were doing a great job. As we say in French, ils n'ont pas chômé. They were really hardworking during the confinement period. Well, I am really happy that you mentioned, Madam Chair, in the beginning, the gentleman agreement that we followed since 2017, and it was respected till the last session, and I hope it will be respected under your chairmanship. And finally, just before ending, I would like to have a small clarification regarding the hours of our meeting, because we were supposed to start earlier and then to have a small break and then to resume after that. So for today, I understand it's exceptional, but what would be the timetable for the next days? Again, thank you. All the good luck and fruitful session for you and all members of the committee. Thank you, Madam Chair, again.
Thank you, Palestine. I will now ask the Secretariat to answer the questions concerning our rapporteur that you posed.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. I understand that the Honourable Delegate of Palestine asked whether the replacement rapporteur would be nominal, as the rapporteur is nominal. However, according to the rule 16.2, if the rapporteur ceases to represent a state member of the committee, or if he or she is unable for any reason to complete the term of office, he or she shall be replaced by a vice chairperson after consultation. So just as when the chairperson of the committee is replaced by a bureau member, not in a nominal way, but as a bureau member, the same applies to the rapporteur. If the rapporteur is replaced, it then becomes a bureau member in their quality as vice chair without being nominal. Also, Madam Chair, I understand there was a question around the time schedule, which is online and which will be updated every day after the meeting of the Bureau, so will be accessible during the meeting. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you, Tim. I will now invite Slovakia to take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the name of Slovakia, I would like to congratulate you to the presidency of the session and the effective leadership. We would also like to thank you for this difficult but very important and well-prepared organization of the IGC meeting and great opening. This year, in which the COVID-19 pandemic brings many changes in lives of people all over the world, it is crucial to help each other in all possible ways. Sharing good practices in the area of safeguarding the ICH looks much more important than before. Greater understanding grounded in research and documentation of the threats to the transmission and practice of intangible cultural heritage over the longer term will be important in the future. Slovakia welcomes the research-related activities, for example, COVID-19 questionnaire action initiated by the Secretariat. At national level, we are now launching the second wave of inquiry because we think it is necessary to strengthen cooperation with traditional partners and to establish also new forms of cooperation with actors beyond the field of culture, such as the humanitarian and security sectors. With regard to the monitoring of the ICH safeguarding practices in general, we are looking forward to the new reporting system based on regions aligned with the overall results framework and facilitated by regional workshops, capacity building, and peer learning. Slovakia strongly supports the idea of the reflection on the listing mechanisms. However, we find the listing mechanisms to be just one part of the Convention's agenda. In implementing the whole complex of Convention's goals, the important aspect is the exchange of experiences among countries and on methods for safeguarding intangible cultural heritage, and also on practices with reporting. We will be thankful for all experiences from state parties from the first cycle of reporting. The Secretariat's activities are a cornerstone for the implementation of the Convention on national as well as international levels, and thus it was important that the Secretariat had the resources necessary to continue and develop its work. This is the reason why also Slovakia contributed financially this year more than was mandatory. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Slovakia. I will now invite, I see where Jamaica is asking to take the floor. Go ahead, Jamaica.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is a wonderful pleasure and our great
Jamaica, we've lost the sound. Could you please check if you're on mute?
I am not on mute.
We have you now back. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you for giving me the floor. And it is our absolute pleasure and great delight to see you seated in the chair as the lead on the important session of this committee. We know of your great commitment to the work of UNESCO, and we know how seriously you take the charge that has been given to you, and we have every confidence that you will lead us successfully through our work. Jamaica is pleased to have assumed the leadership directly after our sister country, Colombia. It's a most fortuitous set of circumstances that has allowed us to move hands across the region from Colombia to Jamaica. I'd like to thank the Director General and also the staff of the Secretariat for the yeoman's efforts that have been made to continue the hosting of this meeting with a view to ensuring the continuity of the business of the committee. We recognize that this was not without challenge, and we greatly appreciated the efforts that have been expanded and expended throughout to ensure that we are here today at the start of this engagement. Let me also thank the committee members who have displayed an enormous amount of flexibility, certainly in the way they have responded to the arrangements that have been made. And I'm sure they join me in extending our best wishes for the success of the 15.com. This session will continue the important work to consider files which were submitted by member states. And we recognize that there will be a limit to the agenda items which can be considered. Inscriptions, we recognize, are important for the continued integrity of the work of UNESCO through this committee to promote the safeguarding of the intangible cultural heritage. The Venerable Nelson Mandela was recognized as saying, I quote, "Our rich and varied cultural heritage has a profound power to help build our new nation," speaking of his own country. It is our belief that this principle is applicable to all countries, all states parties, and that its protection is therefore important to all of us. And with these few words, Madam Chair, let me again reiterate my best wishes for the success and to all the members of this committee and all states parties, observers and NGOs who are with us. I thank you.
Thank you, Jamaica. I will now invite Saudi Arabia to take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, Madam Director General, Mr. Curtis, dear colleagues. We'd like to voice our appreciation for Jamaica in hosting the 15th session of the committee in such dire circumstances. We'd also like to thank the evaluation body for pulling this off by evaluating all these files despite the COVID-19 situation. Intangible cultural heritage in Saudi carries a very special place in the hearts of our people as it represents our identity and at the same time, a bridge to find commonalities with other cultures. As a newly elected member to this esteemed committee, we'd like to express our commitment to withhold and protect the values and principles of this convention and support the Secretariat and all its member states to carry out its mandate in an effective and efficient manner. We thank you, Mr. Chairperson, for giving us the floor, and we wish all of us a productive meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Saudi Arabia. Now, we have an NGO from Bangladesh asking for the floor. Please identify yourself before starting your intervention. Please go ahead. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would like to, first of all, appreciate your effort to conduct this during the COVID, and also appreciate UNESCO's effort to create an awareness about safeguarding of ICH. But particularly, I would like to thank the Dhaka office of the UNESCO for consistently trying to create an awareness, and I would like to thank the Azerbaijan government. And hopefully, finally, by next year, we should have our first community-led ICH inventory. And with the help of all the communities, and it has been such a wonderful awareness building tool that we have been using so that we can safeguard not just cultural practices, but also empower various communities. Thank you so much for giving me the floor to talk. Thank you.
Thank you, NGO. I understand Botswana. I recognize you. Please take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, for giving us the floor. And since Botswana is taking the floor for the first time, would like to congratulate Jamaica for hosting this online session. Botswana would like to thank the Secretariat for organizing the online session, which seems to be the only option for the committee to meet during this difficult time of COVID-19 pandemic. Botswana is pleased to have been nominated as a committee member during the 8th session of the General Assembly of the State Parties to the 2003 Convention. Botswana has been a state party to the convention since 2010, and this is the first time to become a committee member. Botswana wishes to also appreciate the Director General's recognition of Botswana Potter's plight brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Botswana. I want to thank you all for your interventions. I see that we've gone through the list of speakers, and we can now go to the next item. Thank you all for your participation.